It is, of course, the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics tonight, and it's getting off to a pretty shaky start. We've already had a viral clip going around purportedly from Hamas threatening to attack the Games. No doubt they will do their best to create disruption. Now we've seen this sort of mass sabotage on the Paris high-speed railway, arson attacks and so on and so forth, that saw a number of trains, a lot of trains, coming into Paris cancelled. Now remember, France is part of mainland Europe, so when you get on a high-speed train from France, they could be emanating from all sorts of countries on the continent, bringing people in to watch that opening ceremony, to go and see the Olympics events as that kicks off really tomorrow with the opening ceremony tonight. Well, how is this going to affect France's ability to showcase the greatest spectacle on earth? Let's speak now to Jim White, who's the sports writer at The Telegraph and is in Paris ahead of the Games. Jim, let's start off with this, before we get into the sports nitty-gritty, let's start off with this attack on the transport network. My understanding is the French authorities have been able to reroute the high-speed trains on regular lines, and therefore it's causing disruption, but it hasn't shut down the transport network in its entirety. My suspicion is there will be foreign actors involved in all of this. But France is facing one heck of a job during a period of incredible geopolitical instability, showcasing and creating the security for what is the greatest show on earth.
Alex, I'm speaking to you from my hotel room, which I think must be the only yardage in Paris that I've seen that isn't occupied currently by a policeman or a soldier. I've never seen security like it. As you can imagine, the threats are there from potentially from Russia, plus Hamas have joined in. There's a lot of insurrection locally as well. Don't forget, they're in the middle of a really highly disputatious political time in Paris, and the result has been virtually locked down in the city. There are no public transport anyway, despite this arson attack. There would be no public transport anywhere across the city from 5 p.m. Today. There's a no-fly zone, so I think all planes are being shut down from about 4 p.m. They're taking no risks whatsoever about it, and you kind of think, hang on a minute, isn't this meant to be a celebration of sport? And yet, blimey, it feels.
I might have lost you there for a moment. I mean, interesting, Jonathan, Jim there saying that the levels of security around the Paris Olympics, I think the security have shut Jim down, are really extreme. It is sad, isn't it, that this is supposed to be the world coming together under the banner of sport. The Olympic rings, in many respects, represent peace. We've actually got Jim back, so we'll speak about this a bit later while we've still got Jim here. Jim, I mean, it's a sad contextualisation, isn't it, of an event that is supposed to represent peace and coming together of countries.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea, isn't it? There's some fantastic venues as well, Alex. You know, the idea, I think, is to showcase this beautiful city, basically for make it a tourist advert. You know, they've got stadiums in front of the Eiffel Tower. They've got them across the city. I think the pictures and images are going to be very beautiful, and it starts tonight with this parade of barges along the Seine. I was talking to someone this morning who said, have you ever been on a party boat in the Thames, where you sort of go on a party boat? And one of the major problems of being on one of those party boats going down to the Thames is, if it's a terrible party, you can't get off.
Well, let's hope, Jim, I've got to stop you there.